still here? Why? I don't get it. Alright, whatever. A lot of prefacing to do. Joy. Anyway. So I recorded this once, TV was on in the background, didn't hear it because I have my good headphones on, and so that was lovely. Gotta scrap that recording. Turbo did not see the test battle I had with Merc, so we're good on that front. It was fair game, me versus him, and you already know that I already made you all a promise that we're not going to be losers, at least more than we already are, so I'm going to try to hold to that, or just the amount of loser I am is enough and it'll cost us. Anyway. If you hear, like, anything in the background, like, you know, a dryer spinning or my family telling me, who are you talking to, you don't have any friends, that's just background noise. I'll cut it out, don't worry about it. It happens a lot, so it's my great editing that keeps this channel alive. Not even bragging. Anyway, team preview. This man didn't bring Blastoise. I was, like, 90% sure going into this game that Turbo would be packing Blastoise, and I was apparently wrong. I guess the long shots don't always pay off, huh? Anyway, this is why I thought he had to have Blastoise. Let's run down his team here. Lopunny, 1 shot by X-Cloud. Talonflame, 2 shot if it's spit up by X-Cloud. Roserade, 1 shot if it's offensive by X-Cloud. Azelf, 1 shot by X-Cloud unless it's Assault Vest. Cofagrigus, 2 shot by X-Cloud. And Garchomp, 2 shot by X-Cloud. This X-Cloud literally 2 shots everything on his team, and no matter what. There is no universe in which one mon on his team can take 3 hits. And if you're gonna post a calc in the bottom that says, oh, if he's running, you know, max spit def, you know, calm, assault vested Talonflame, he can take 3. Don't give me that crap. Turbo's not bringing that. Shut up. And I know it's you, Rob. Don't post the calc. Anyway, another thing is that Greninja OHKOs almost all of his team. It can 2-hit KO Lopunny with Scald. It can OHKO certain variations of Talonflame with Scald. It can OHKO certain variations of Roserade with Scald. It can OHKO Azelf with Scald. It can OHKO Cofagrigus with Scald. It can OHKO Garchomp with Ice Beam. 3 moves I was packing literally 2-shot everything on his team and U-turn from momentum. I was just boggled when I didn't see the Blastoise, but I wanted to get my rambling, you know, to the 3-minute mark so we can make sure we can roll 4 ads. I'm just kidding. No one wants to sponsor me. Anyway. As you know, if you know from our team that I'm packing, yes, psych, go watch the team builder, you lazy prick. Anyway, looking at his team, matchup-wise, I predict the Azelf for the Garchomp lead. Either way, Zapdos has a pretty good matchup. He has no ground type. I can Volt Switch out on anything. Take any hit from everything on his team. Nothing on his team can OHKO Zapdos. At least I don't think so. If you hear my dog in the background, he's just also telling me I have no friends. But yeah, Zapdos seemed good to me. I'm going to roll it on normal. Hopefully that gets us to 10 minutes. Anyway, he's going to leave with the Cofagrigus. I'm not sure why. It doesn't really match up versus much of my team very well. So I'm just going to Volt Switch out. Go into Bronzong on the suspected Toxic, as he actually reveals Substitute, and Bronzong, being the offensive monster that it is, cannot actually break a Cofagrigus' sub, so I'm forced to pull a switch into my Tweety as he goes for Calm Mind, which is very unfortunate because my Volt Switch here is not going to break his sub, and here, you know, we have to make the reads, the hardest reads, only the hardest reads. I'm going to predict him to go for a Shadow Ball, and he could go for an HP Fighting, which would really hurt, but it won't kill X-Cloud. So I'm going to predict Shadow Ball, go into Kanye, Yeezy, Yeezy, and now I basically get a kill, as I talked about in the pregame. He has no switches to this actual monster that is fucking, I don't know what song he's singing, probably Run Away, but, you know, we got Hippo to come in on Lopunny, no big deal. We built Hippo to take this, you know, this garbage mon on, who drafts Lopunny. Love you, Turbo. Anyway. Yeah, we basically get back to full after lefties, so I'm gonna predict Roserade to come in to try and capitalize on my rocks, but I'm not packing rocks, so I'm just gonna fire off an Earthquake instead of a Revenge, as that's exactly what happens. Gonna gain a little lefties back to full, basically. No reason not to go out of my Bronzong here. This Roserade is my opportunity to get rocks up, as he goes for a Synthesis. Jesus, this is fast! As he goes for a Synthesis, and only gets 25 back. Like I said, no reason not to click rocks here, as he decides Azelf is his best play. The problem is that nothing on my team takes Azelf on much better than Bronzong, so I'm basically forced to stay in because this thing is a very solid mixed attacker, as he's going to U-turn out, no problem. And guys, let me tell you, in no universe does this next play that actually happen. He goes into his guard chomp, I'm like, alright, he caught me, I'm going to take all this rough skin Rocky helmet damage, and I do 40% with a gyro ball. 40% to a guard chomp. Alright, put that in perspective, I'm pretty sure low punny's return doesn't do 40% to tank chomp, and that's offensive low punny. But this reveals two things to me, that he is scarfed, and that Bronzong is the offensive monster I always thought it was. But yeah, so here I'm heat proof obviously to take Talonflame on a little better in case I ever wanted to throw a Toxic onto that thing or something. So he might suspect that, I doubt it since he has a Garchomp. However, my safest play every single time versus obvious Scarfchomp, which is obvious, is as his Sand Veil's obviously going to expire. That was good prep on his part. I'm going to go into my Tweety Bird, as I have no reason not to. I'm physically defensive. I can take anything this thing wants to throw at me. As he's going to crunch, as he doesn't suspect that I'm heat proof, which isn't a big deal. And I'm just going to get a little bit of leftovers back, as Turbo makes a nice play here, catches me with the crunch as I try and Volt Switch out. That was a good play by Turbo, but, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me, and, you know, we can't get fooled again, as he pulls the switch, and I'm going to click Volt Switch again. No worries, you know we don't fall for those games twice in a row. As Lopunny comes out and takes a clean chunk from this Volt Switch, 40%. And at this point, a lot of his team is really whittled down. Most of my team is full health, but I have zero reason not to go into Hippo here. In hindsight, Infernape being basically going to get a kill with close combat at this point, so that might have been a better play, but you know, that fake out damage is just not necessary. So I'm just going to go into Hippo, play it safe, as here I'm going to predict the Azelf to come in, as Roserade didn't take my EQ all that well, and I'm going to fire off a Stone Edge this time instead, because that's exactly what happens. You know, we don't care if we miss or not, we already know we're hitting, because Chillin just does not give a flying... Fuck, anyway, I forgot the word. Here, no reason not to pull the switch back into Bronzong. It's my best counter, as I expect Grass Knot. However, he has Energy Ball, not Grass Knot, which I thought was weird. Grass Knot probably takes out Greninja, but he probably wouldn't have clicked Grass Knot versus my Greninja, considering he had Thunderbolt, which he goes for here, which does a clean 26%, and he goes down to his Life Orb, but we give that kill to Bronzong. You already know, though. We won't do that, but I wish we could. So I'm going to go for a Gyro Ball, and it fails, so that sucks. Roserade's going to come in here. I can take anything from this Roserade that isn't a Shadow Ball. However, he is actually packing the Shadow Ball, so Y goes down. You know, he doesn't know why he exists. It's probably better if he's gone. Anyway, apparently Ghost coverage is good for my team. He brought offensive Kofag and a Roserade with Shadow Ball. Here, I have no reason not to go into my boy Bo, fire up a Flare Blitz, because I know from the hit pound on damage he's actually pretty HP invested. He could take a close combat potentially, however, you know, there's no reason not to click Flare Blitz. I 2-hit KO everything at this point. As you can see, that Garchomp does not take that very well at all. And this is why that Lopunny thing is just like, why take the fake out damage? Because just killing that Garchomp, I took almost 50%, which was stupid. And I don't get it, but yeah. So here he goes into his Talonflame. I'm expecting potentially a setup, but I also know that no move at +2 can kill a Zapdos from the range it's at, outside of Flare Blitz, and he will take a lot from doing that. However, he goes for Brave Bird, and from this damage, I can calc that he is that he is banded, and I was just thinking, like, and I thought about it a little while after, it's like, I just didn't understand why he brought banded Talonflame, and then it kind of dawned on me that I guess if Hippowdon and Zapdos both are down at that point, which his offense can kind of deal with it. He didn't really have much for Zapdos, but Hippo, he had things for Hippo. If that situation did occur, his Talonflame that's banded could sweep my team with Brave Bird, since my offense isn't the most bulky. However, it's not going to be an issue, because Tweety was at a pretty reliable amount of HP, and we just can Bruce stall him till his death, and, you know, we could end with our Zapdos at 100% HP, you know, ready to take on the rest of his team, basically finish the game up with Tweety from that point on. However, I can't let that happen, and there's a reason I can't let that happen, boys, is because although I'm going to roost here, get up to full HP, it's all about stats in this league. Wins don't matter. What matters is that you have the winner of the MVP race at the end of the season. So instead of roosting here, which is the right play, I'm going to click HP Ice and make sure Zapdos gets the kill on the stat sheet, because that's the only way to live life, in my opinion, is to get kills on stat sheets. It's all about numbers, baby. It's all about numbers. As now he's going to go out into his Roserade. I've already seen Synthesis on this thing, so it's very likely he clicks it knowing I can't do much to him. As here I'm going to go into my X-Cloud expecting him to do just that, and this covered my grounds well because X-Cloud didn't do much if he made the double into Lopunny or something like that. So I'm just here going to click Boom Burst. I should pick up a kill. Sorry, I had to, go and be a disappointment. But yeah, I click a Boom Burst here. Does only 80% to Roserade. This thing is Spadef as shit. This thing is like, it doesn't take it well, but it's Spadef, assumingly to take on Zapdos. He's gonna Giga Drain to about 53%. It might have been AV looking, but no, he has Synthesis. Whatever, I don't know. He does a lot, I do a lot. So I'm gonna go for another Boom Burst here, blow Roserade all the way back. As Lopunny's gonna come out, and you know how we do. We could sack X-Cloud and go into Infernape and win the game, but you know how we play. We preserve differential. Here we go straight into Chillin', your boy Powdon here, and he's gonna fire up an Ice Punch. But Chillin' doesn't care. He does not care. As now he's Earthquake is an easy kill from this range, so we're just gonna have to click take whatever hit he's gonna go for, click that Earthquake button. Except we're good at the game and we flex and do the max damage at all times, so we click return. Stunt. I just dabbed, for those of you who are not cool anymore. Anyway, that's it. We win 5-0. Puts us to +3 differential overall, which is awesome. That should vault us into the top 6 at least, I think. It definitely should vault us into the top 6, having a positive differential. But, yeah, so, good performance from the team all around. Pretty happy with how everything went. I don't know what to say to keep extending the video, for views and such, but I think that pretty much all but wraps it up. If I had to guess who we play next, I believe it is Dom and the Richmond Rayquazas, and we've had a few battles versus Dom. Dom's an old friend, an old rival. We'll see if we can take him on, and I will see you all in the next crap video that you tune into for some reason. Later, I'm out.